What if the single biggest threat to your freedom, to your ability to live life on your own terms, isn't your heart or your memory, but your own 2 feet? Think about it. That strange buzzing sensation, the electric tingling, or that angry burning feeling that has nothing to do with temperature. It's like a constant low-grade static interfering with your life. Maybe for you, it's a profound numbness, a deadness, like your feet are wrapped in layers of thick wool, completely cut off from the world. You step down, expecting to feel the solid floor, but instead you get nothing. That disconnect is terrifying. It makes you hesitant. It makes you feel unsteady, fragile. This isn't just in your head, and it's not a small problem. A groundbreaking, multi-year study out of Johns Hopkins tracking older adults confirmed that those with even mild neuropathy have a staggering 300% higher risk of a life-altering fall. That is not a typo. 300%. This is a crossroads. One path leads to fear, to avoiding stairs, to turning down walks with family, to a smaller and smaller world contained within 4 walls because you just don't trust your own body. The other path leads to confidence, to understanding what's happening and taking smart, simple steps to protect yourself. It's the path where you can walk across a lawn to play with your grandkids without a knot of anxiety in your stomach. We're going to count down the 10 most practical, powerful things you can do to manage this, starting from number 10. But I have to tell you, the single most important one, the true foundation that makes everything else work better, is something almost nobody talks about. I'm saving that secret for the very end as our number 1. So, what is actually going on down there? Let's clear that up first. Imagine the nerves running to your feet are like a massive, complex telephone cable containing thousands of tiny, delicate copper wires. Each wire carries a specific message. This is soft, this is sharp, this is hot. These messages travel at incredible speeds between your feet and your brain. Now, each of those tiny copper wires is wrapped in a protective coating, a rubber insulation. Neuropathy is simply what happens when that insulation gets damaged, frayed, or worn thin over time. The signals get crossed, they get distorted. It's like having static on the phone line. The brain calls for a simple touch report from the bedsheets, but the signal gets scrambled along the damaged wire and arrives as a screaming fire alarm. That's the burning pain. Other times, you might step on something genuinely sharp, and the wire is so damaged that the danger signal never leaves the station. It never gets through at all. That's the numbness. It's not a curse. It's a physical wiring problem. And while you can't always replace the whole cable, you can absolutely protect the wires you have and improve the quality of the signal. Let's start the countdown. Number 10, rethink your drink. We have to talk about blood sugar. And please hear me on this. You do not need a diabetes diagnosis for this to be critically important. Chronically elevated blood sugar, even if it's not yet at a crisis level, impacts your nerves. Here's why. Think of your blood vessels as a series of rivers and streams delivering life-giving oxygen and nutrients to every part of your body. The tiniest of these vessels, the microscopic capillaries that feed the very tips of your nerves, are like little creeks. When your blood sugar is consistently high, it's like pouring thick, sticky molasses into that river system. The flow becomes slow, sludgy, and thick. This sludge has a hard time squeezing through those delicate little creeks in your feet. So the nerve endings at the very end of the line, the furthest from the heart, start to get starved of oxygen and nutrients. A starving nerve is a damaged nerve. It's a nerve that misfires, sending those confusing signals of pain, tingling, and numbness. There's even a scientific name for the damage this causes: advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. That's a fancy term for what happens when sugar molecules stick to proteins and fats in your body, making them stiff and brittle. It's like what happens when you caramelize sugar in a hot pan. It gets hard and dysfunctional. This process causes inflammation and damages the delicate lining of those tiny blood vessels, making the whole problem worse. This isn't about some miserable restrictive diet. It's about small, smart choices. The single biggest source of that blood sugar sludge for most people, sugary drinks. Sodas, sweet teas, juices with added sugar. Choosing water or unsweetened teas instead of a can of soda is not a small thing. It is a direct physical act of clearing the sludge from your body's rivers and allowing that life-giving flow to reach those struggling nerve endings. Try, the next time you walk to the fridge for a drink, just pause. Ask yourself, could this be a glass of water right now? No judgment, no pressure, just a simple question. That 1-second pause is often all it takes to make a choice that serves your body. Number 9, become a texture detective. The brain can get stuck in a nasty, painful rut. It gets so accustomed to receiving those scrambled, alarming signals from your feet, the burning, the tingling, that it becomes hypervigilant. After a while, it can start to anticipate the pain and even create the sensation on its own, because that neural pathway has become so well worn and familiar. But here's the amazing thing. Your brain has something called neuroplasticity. Think of it as the ability to create new trails through a forest. If the old trail is full of thorns and mud, you can blaze a new, pleasant, clearer path. You can actively retrain your brain by intentionally giving it new, different, non-painful information to process. This is about sending gentle, clear, pleasant signals up those nerve pathways to remind your brain what normal sensation feels like. It helps to calm the chaos and quiet the false alarms. While you're sitting down, watching a show or listening to music, take off your socks and shoes and gently explore different textures with the bottoms of your feet. Don't just rub, pay attention. Close your eyes and really focus on the sensation. Use a piece of soft velvet, a clean, smooth, cool stone from your garden, the bristles of a soft new paintbrush, a piece of bumpy corduroy, even a slightly rough wool blanket. You are not trying to magically cure the numbness. You are on a data-gathering mission for your brain. You are sending up a flood of new, high-quality information. This is soft. This is cool. This is smooth. It competes with the pain signals. It forces the brain to process something new, weakening the old pain loop and building that new, healthier pathway. Create a small texture box. Find a little shoebox and put a few interesting items in it. A large soft feather, a pine cone, a piece of silky fabric, a smooth piece of driftwood. Keep it by your favorite chair. Once a day, just pick one item and spend 2 minutes exploring it with your feet. Think of it as physical therapy for your brain. Number 8, know your enemies. Sometimes keeping your feet safe is less about what you do and more about what you stop doing. There are a few common habits that are incredibly dangerous when you can't rely on your feet to send you accurate warning signals. First, stop soaking your feet for long periods. I know, a hot foot soak with Epsom salts sounds like a wonderful, relaxing thing. But if your sensation is diminished, you can easily use water that is far too hot, causing a serious scald without ever feeling it. Beyond the heat risk, prolonged soaking strips your skin of its natural protective oils. This makes the skin waterlogged, fragile, and prone to cracking, which opens up a doorway for infection. A quick wash with lukewarm water and gentle soap is much, much safer. Second, throw out those over-the-counter medicated corn and callus removers. The little pads, the liquids, they all work by using salicylic acid to literally dissolve tissue. The problem is, the acid is not smart. It cannot tell the difference between the hard, dead skin of a callus and the healthy, living skin right next to it. It's incredibly easy to create a chemical burn or an open sore that you might not feel developing until it's a major problem. Finally, and this is an absolute rule, no more bathroom surgery. Do not take scissors, clippers, or any other sharp object to your own calluses, corns, or ingrown toenails. It might seem like a simple fix, but a tiny slip can create a deep cut. Those tools are rarely sterile, and you're introducing bacteria deep into your tissue. This is how a small annoyance becomes a raging infection called cellulitis. Please leave that work to a podiatrist. They have the sterile tools, the right skills, and the knowledge to do it safely. Try. Go into your bathroom right now. Open the medicine cabinet or your first aid kit. If you find any of those acid-based corn remover pads or liquids, walk them directly to the trash can. It's a simple 5-second act of removing a hidden danger from your home. Number 7, master your thermal environment. When your feet can't feel temperature properly, you have to become their brain. The natural warning systems we all take for granted, ouch, that's too hot, or my feet are freezing, are offline. This makes your feet incredibly vulnerable to damage from both heat and cold. Let's start with heat. An electric blanket, a heating pad, a hot water bottle, these things are now off limits for your feet. It is terrifyingly easy to fall asleep with a heating pad and wake up with a 3rd-degree burn that you never felt happening. If your feet are cold, the answer is insulation, not direct heat. Put on a pair of thick, warm wool or thermal socks. Trap your own body heat. That is the safest way. The same goes for sitting too close to a fireplace or a space heater. You have to be consciously aware of the distance. The bathtub is another major hazard. Many of us have a lifelong habit of testing the bath water with a toe. For you, that habit must end. Your foot will lie to you. It might tell you the water is pleasantly warm when it's actually dangerously hot. From now on, you must use your elbow or your wrist. The skin there has reliable nerve endings and will give you an accurate, safe reading of the temperature. Cold is just as dangerous. Because you might not feel your feet getting cold, you can be at risk for frostbite in weather where you think you're fine. The numbness can completely mask the danger signals of tingling and pain that would normally tell you to go inside. You have to think for your feet. If it's cold outside, wear insulated, moisture-wicking socks and waterproof boots, even if your feet feel fine. Try. Get a small waterproof sticker or a piece of waterproof tape. With a permanent marker, write one word on it, elbow. Stick it right on your bathtub faucet where you can't miss it. It's a simple, powerful visual cue that will override that old, dangerous habit and protect you from a preventable injury. Number 6, send in the repair crew. Just like a house needs good building materials to stay strong, your nerves need the right nutritional fuel to repair their damaged insulation and function properly. You can directly support your nerve health from your kitchen. Think of B vitamins as the expert electricians on your body's repair crew. They are absolutely essential for nerve function. Specifically, vitamin B12 is crucial for maintaining that protective myelin sheath, the insulation around your nerve wires. When B12 is low, that insulation becomes thin and patchy. Think of B12 as the spackle that patches the holes. You can find it in eggs, fish like salmon and tuna, and lean meats. Vitamin B1, found in lentils and pork, and B6, found in chicken and bananas, are also vital for nerve signaling. Next, you need a powerful antioxidant called alpha-lipoic acid, or ALA. It's unique because it's both water-soluble and fat-soluble, which means it can get inside and protect every single part of the nerve cell from damage. Your body makes a little, but getting more from food is a huge help. Spinach and broccoli are loaded with it. Finally, consider the mineral magnesium. Think of magnesium as the calming agent for your nerves. It acts as a natural gatekeeper, helping to regulate the flow of signals and preventing nerves from becoming hyperexcitable and firing off those random pain messages. A lack of magnesium can make everything feel more intense. You can find it in abundance in almonds, cashews, dark leafy greens, and avocados. This isn't about perfection, it's about consistently adding helpful things. Tossing a big handful of spinach into your morning eggs or soup isn't a diet. It's sending a specialized care package directly to your nerve endings. Try. The next time you're making a grocery list, deliberately add 2 things to it. First, 1 dark leafy green, like spinach or Swiss chard. Second, 1 source of healthy fat rich in magnesium, like a bag of almonds or an avocado. Just making them available in your kitchen is half the battle. We're halfway through, and the tips are only getting more powerful. Remember, the number 1 thing I'm saving for the end is the secret key that unlocks the power of all the others. Stay with me. Number 5, awaken the connection. First, an important reminder. Please talk to a clinician before starting any new exercises, especially if you have significant heart, balance, or joint issues. Your safety always comes first. Movement is powerful medicine. Gentle, focused movement does two critical things. First, it acts like a pump, pushing fresh, oxygen-rich blood into those tiny, starved capillaries in your feet, delivering the nutrients we just talked about. Second, it sends a steady stream of clear, intentional signals back to your brain, reminding it that your feet are still there, still part of the team, and ready to communicate. These aren't sweaty, high-impact workouts. Think of them as quiet, focused conversations with your feet. You can do them while sitting in your favorite chair watching the news. One of the best is the ankle alphabet. While seated, lift one foot just off the floor. Now, leading with your big toe, slowly and deliberately draw each letter of the alphabet in the air. A, B, C. Make the movements as big and precise as you can. When you get to Z, switch feet. This moves your ankle through its entire range of motion, waking up every nerve and tendon. Another great one is the towel scrunch. Place a small hand towel on a smooth floor in front of your chair. Using only the toes of one foot, slowly scrunch the towel up towards you inch by inch. Once it's all bunched up, use your toes to push it flat again. This is an incredible workout for the small, intrinsic muscles in your feet that are crucial for balance. This is about re-establishing your body's internal GPS system, a sense called proprioception. That's the brain's awareness of where your body parts are in space without you having to look. Neuropathy scrambles that signal. These exercises help to recalibrate it. Remember to stop if you feel any sharp pain. This should feel like a gentle awakening, not a punishment. Try, get a simple tennis ball or a similar-sized rubber ball and keep it under your desk or near your chair. Whenever you're sitting for a while, slip off a shoe and just gently roll the ball under the arch of your foot. Apply gentle pressure. Roll it from your heel to your toes and back again. It's a wonderful way to massage and stimulate the nerves in a pleasant, non-threatening way. Stop if there's any pain. Number 4, become a certified foot inspector. When you can't rely on pain to alert you to a problem, you have to rely on your eyes. A small problem you never felt, a blister, a tiny cut, an ingrown toenail, can quietly escalate into a major infection simply because you didn't know it was there. This is why the single most important habit you can build is a daily, 60-second visual inspection. Make it non-negotiable. The best time to do this is when you take your socks off for the night. Pair the new habit with the old one. Get a small, unbreakable, long-handled mirror and keep it right by the chair where you take your shoes off. Make it part of the furniture. Here is your 4-point inspection process. Make sure you have good lighting. 1. The overall view. Just look at your feet side by side. Is there any new swelling on one foot that isn't on the other? Is there a change in color? Is one foot much redder or paler than the other? 2. The bottoms. Use your mirror. Look carefully at your entire sole, especially your heel and the ball of your foot. You're looking for anything new, blisters, cuts, red spots, or dry, cracked skin, which can be fissures that let bacteria in. 3. Between the toes. This is a crucial, often missed area. Gently separate each toe and look at the skin in between. It's a warm, dark place where moisture can get trapped, leading to skin breakdown or fungal infections. 4. The nails. Look for any discoloration, excessive thickness, or signs of an ingrown nail where the nail is cutting into the skin. Finally, use the back of your hand to feel the temperature of each foot. A localized hot spot that you can't explain can be an early warning sign of deep inflammation or infection, even before it becomes visible. Catching a problem when it's a tiny red spot is a victory. Don't ignore it. Try, pair your foot check with brushing your teeth at night. Habit stacking is powerful. After you brush your teeth, you sit down and do your foot inspection. The first habit becomes the trigger for the second, until it's as automatic as turning off the light. Number 3, build your armor. From this day forward, your shoes and socks are not fashion accessories. They are not an afterthought. They are essential pieces of personal protective equipment. Think of them as your feet's personal bodyguards. Their number one job is to protect you from a world you cannot fully feel. Let's start with shoes. A shoe that is even slightly too tight creates pressure points and friction. Over a day of walking, that unfelt rubbing can create a raw sore or a deep blister. Here's a non-negotiable rule. When you try on new shoes, there must be a full thumb's width of space between the end of your longest toe, which for many people is the second toe, not the big toe, and the front of the shoe. Your toes need room to spread out naturally as you walk. Always go shoe shopping in the afternoon when your feet are naturally a bit larger and more swollen to get the truest fit. Look for shoes with a wide toe box, not pointy ones that squeeze your toes together. This constant low-level rubbing creates what's known as microtrauma, tiny amounts of damage that you don't feel but that add up over thousands of steps to cause a serious injury. Now let's talk about socks. This is just as important. Take a cheap sock and turn it inside out. You'll often find a thick, hard seam running right across the toe area. For you, that seam is like a piece of sandpaper. It can rub a hole in your skin without you ever knowing. You must switch to seamless socks. They are often marketed as diabetic socks, but they are for anyone with neuropathy. They are soft, non-binding at the top so they don't restrict circulation, and are perfectly smooth on the inside. They are a game changer. Look for moisture-wicking materials like wool or special synthetics, not cotton, which holds sweat against your skin. Go to your closet. Take out the pair of shoes you wear most often. Take your hand and run it all around the inside of the shoe. Press firmly. Can you feel any rough seams? Any bunched up lining? Any worn spots that have become hard or lumpy? Your hand can feel the dangers that your foot cannot. If you find a problem spot, that shoe is no longer your friend. Number 2, the unseen danger in your own home. This is so important it needs its own spot. I need you to make me a promise. From this moment on, you will never, ever walk barefoot again. Not for a single step. Not on your soft carpet. Not on the cool tile of your kitchen. Not even for that quick trip to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Your home, the one place you feel safest, is now a minefield for your feet. I know someone who stepped on a single Lego brick his grandson had left on the living room rug. He never felt a thing. The sharp edge created a small puncture wound. He didn't do his foot check that night. By the time he noticed the swelling 2 days later, he had a raging infection that put him in the hospital for a week. Think of all the tiny, unseen hazards. A staple that fell out of some papers. A tiny shard of glass from a dropped cup you thought you cleaned up perfectly. The sharp corner of a piece of furniture you misjudge in the dark. A dropped sewing pin. You cannot rely on your sense of touch to protect you from these things anymore. Your shoes or a sturdy pair of house slippers with a hard sole are your shield. They are your 24/7 protection. You must have something on your feet from the moment you get out of bed to the moment you get back in. This is about fundamentally changing a lifelong habit, and it is one of the most powerful protective measures you can possibly take. Place a dedicated pair of supportive slippers or comfortable slip-on shoes right next to your bed. The very first thing your feet touch when they swing out of bed in the morning is the inside of those shoes. This removes the temptation to take even a few unprotected steps. And now for the number 1 most overlooked but most fundamental thing you can do for the health of your nerves. Number 1, master your internal hydration. You might be thinking, water? That's the big secret? Yes, and here is why it is the absolute foundation for everything else. Your nerves communicate using tiny electrical signals. It's a bioelectrical system. And what is one of the best conductors of electricity on the planet? Water. When you are even mildly dehydrated, the electrical signaling in your entire body becomes less efficient. It's like trying to run your house on low voltage. The lights flicker, appliances don't work right. Dehydration causes the same flickering in your nerve signals, contributing to the misfires and static. But it gets even more critical. Remember our analogy of the sludgy molasses blood from high blood sugar? Dehydration does the exact same thing, even if your blood sugar is perfect. When you're dehydrated, the volume of water in your bloodstream decreases. This makes your blood thicker and more concentrated. It becomes physically harder for your heart to pump that thick blood all the way down into those microscopic capillaries that feed your nerve endings. You can be eating all the right nutrients, but if your delivery system is thick and slow, those B vitamins and antioxidants can't get to where they're needed most. Proper hydration thins the blood, making it flow easily, delivering a rich supply of oxygen and nutrients to your starving nerves, and helping to flush out the metabolic waste products that contribute to inflammation. You cannot build a strong house on a crumbling foundation. Hydration is the foundation of your nerve health. Many experts suggest aiming for around 8 glasses of water a day, but you should talk to your clinician, especially if you have any kidney or heart conditions. The point is to be conscious and consistent. Try. Get a specific water bottle or a favorite glass and make a rule for yourself. You fill it up first thing when you wake up, and you drink it all before you have your first cup of coffee or tea. You are starting your day by hydrating your system and turning on your body's electrical grid properly. I know this was a lot of information. Please do not let it overwhelm you. Do not feel like you have to perfectly implement all 10 of these things tomorrow. That is a recipe for failure. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. Just pick one thing, the one that sounded the easiest or the one that made the most sense to you. Maybe it's putting that elbow sticker on your tub. Maybe it's buying that one pair of seamless socks. Maybe it's just committing to that 60-second foot check every night. Master that one thing. Make it an automatic habit. That single act is a tremendous victory. It is a powerful statement that you are taking back control. Once it's second nature, come back and pick another one. These are not just tips. They are acts of self-respect. They are the tools you use to build that future where you are steady, confident, and free. You have so much more power over this than you think. You can do this.